In a world where superheroes dominate the big screen, one woman stood out, not just for her strength, but for her silence, her mystery, and her power. This is the story of Scarlett Johansson, the woman who became the face of Black Widow and one of the highest-paid actresses in Hollywood. But behind the fierce combat skills and fearless attitude of the Avengers lies a journey filled with struggle, transformation, heartbreak, and relentless ambition. From a young girl with big dreams in New York to becoming a global icon in Marvel Studios, Scarlett's rise wasn't just about fame. It was about survival in one of the toughest industries in the world. She wasn't born a superhero. She wasn't handed success. She built it piece by piece. From indie films like Lost in Translation that proved her depth, to action-packed blockbusters like Lucy that showcased her power. She redefined what it means to be a female star in Hollywood. But behind the glamour, there were controversies, criticism, and battles that no one saw. This isn't just the story of fame. This is the story of evolution. This is the story of power. This is the story of Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson was born on November 22, 1984, in New York City, a place where dreams are born, but only the strongest survive. From a very young age, she showed a deep passion for acting, inspired by classic Hollywood stars and the energy of Broadway. Unlike many children, Scarlett wasn't just playing pretend, she was preparing. She trained seriously, studying at the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute, where she began shaping her craft with discipline and focus. Her early life wasn't glamorous. It was filled with auditions, rejections, and uncertainty. But what made Scarlett different was her determination. She didn't see failure as the end, but as part of the process. Her film debut came at a young age, but it was her role in Lost in Translation alongside Bill Murray that truly changed everything. At just 18, she delivered a performance so mature, so emotionally complex, that the world had no choice but to take notice. She wasn't just another young actress, she was a force. As her career progressed, Scarlett carefully avoided being typecast. She moved between genres effortlessly: drama, romance, action, and even voice acting. Films like Girl with a Pearl Earring proved her ability to carry historical depth, while her voice performance in Her showed she could captivate audiences without even appearing on screen. But despite her talent, Hollywood often tried to define her by her looks rather than her skills. Scarlett faced constant scrutiny. Her image, her voice, her roles, everything was under the microscope. Yet instead of letting it limit her, she used it as fuel. She took control of her career, choosing roles that challenged her and pushed boundaries. Then came the turning point, the moment that would change her career forever. In 2010, Scarlett Johansson entered the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Natasha Romanoff, also known as Black Widow, in Iron Man 2. At first, many underestimated her role. She wasn't given a standalone film, and she often stood among male superheroes with bigger screen time. But Scarlett did something extraordinary. She made Black Widow unforgettable. With her intense physical training, emotional depth, and subtle performance, she turned the character into one of the most loved figures in the MCU. Over time, through films like The Avengers, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Avengers: Endgame, her character evolved from a mysterious spy into a deeply human hero with a painful past. What made Scarlett's portrayal so powerful wasn't just the action, it was the vulnerability. She showed that strength isn't just about fighting, it's about surviving your past. Her performance resonated with millions, especially women who finally saw a superhero that felt real. But behind the scenes, the journey wasn't easy. Scarlett had to fight for equal recognition and pay in an industry dominated by men. Over time, she became one of the highest-paid actresses in the world, not just because of her talent, but because she demanded her worth. Outside of Marvel, Scarlett continued to prove her versatility. In Marriage Story, she delivered one of the most emotionally raw performances of her career, earning critical acclaim and award nominations. The same year, she appeared in Jojo Rabbit, showcasing her ability to balance humor and heartbreak. These roles reminded the world that she wasn't just Black Widow, she was one of the finest actresses of her generation. However, Scarlett's journey hasn't been without controversy. She faced backlash for roles that sparked debates about representation in Hollywood. Her casting choices and public statements were often criticized, putting her at the center of cultural discussions. But Scarlett didn't hide. She addressed criticism, learned from it, and continued moving forward. Perhaps one of the biggest public battles came when she filed a lawsuit against Disney over the release strategy of Black Widow, highlighting issues of fair compensation in the era of streaming. It was a bold move, one that shook the industry and showed that even the biggest stars must sometimes fight for fairness. Despite the challenges, Scarlett Johansson's legacy continues to grow. She is not just an actress, she is a symbol of transformation. From a young girl chasing auditions to a global icon commanding millions, her journey is a testament to resilience, talent, and self-belief. She proved that success in Hollywood isn't just about fame, it's about endurance. Today, Scarlett stands as one of the most influential figures in the entertainment industry. Her journey inspires not only aspiring actors, but anyone who dares to dream. Because her story teaches us something powerful, no matter where you start, no matter how many times you're doubted, if you keep pushing forward, you can become unstoppable. Success isn't given, it's earned. And Scarlett Johansson earned every bit of it. If her story inspired you, remember, your journey matters too. Behind the success of Black Widow, there's a side of Scarlett Johansson that the spotlight doesn't always show. One of the biggest challenges she faced was typecasting and objectification. Early in her career, Hollywood often focused more on her appearance than her talent. Even after powerful performances in films like Lost in Translation, she was repeatedly pushed into roles that emphasized her image rather than her depth. This created an internal struggle, proving she was more than just a Hollywood beauty. Then came controversies around casting choices. Scarlett faced heavy criticism for accepting roles that many believed should have gone to actors of different backgrounds, particularly her involvement in projects like Ghost in the Shell. The backlash was global, raising questions about representation in Hollywood. While she defended her position at times, the criticism impacted her public image and sparked ongoing debates. Another major conflict emerged with the Walt Disney Company during the release of Black Widow. Scarlett filed a lawsuit over its simultaneous streaming and theatrical release, claiming it affected her earnings. This wasn't just a personal battle, it exposed deeper industry issues about fairness, contracts, and how streaming was changing Hollywood. Taking on a giant like Disney was risky, and it showed the pressure even top stars face behind closed doors. On a personal level, Scarlett has dealt with public scrutiny of her relationships and private life. Multiple marriages, constant media attention, and invasive headlines created emotional pressure that few people truly understand. Fame came with a cost, privacy. And perhaps the most silent struggle of all was maintaining identity in a world that constantly tries to define you. Being part of massive franchises like the Avengers brought global fame, but also the risk of being forever seen as just one character. Despite the challenges, Scarlett Johansson's good side is what truly defines her legacy. First and foremost is her incredible acting range. From emotional depth in Marriage Story to raw vulnerability in Jojo Rabbit, she proved she's far more than an action star. She can carry complex, human stories with authenticity that resonates deeply with audiences. Her role as Black Widow changed Hollywood's perception of female superheroes. She brought strength, intelligence, and emotional realism to a genre that often overlooked women. Instead of being just a side character, she became a central figure in one of the biggest franchises in history. Scarlett is also known for her work ethic and dedication. For Marvel films, she underwent intense physical training, learning combat skills, and pushing her body to extreme limits. This commitment made her performances believable and powerful. Another major strength is her fearlessness in taking risks. Whether it's choosing unconventional roles or standing up to major studios, she has shown that she's not afraid to challenge the system. Her legal battle with Disney wasn't just about money, it was about fairness and respect for artists. Beyond acting, she has built a reputation as one of the highest-paid actresses in the world, proving her value in an industry that often underpays women. She didn't just accept what she was given, she demanded what she deserved. And perhaps most importantly, Scarlett represents resilience. No matter the criticism, controversies, or pressure, she continues to evolve. She adapts, learns, and moves forward stronger each time. The story of Scarlett Johansson isn't perfect. It's real. A mix of and mistakes, power and pressure, fame and personal battles. But that's what makes her journey powerful. Because true greatness isn't about having no dark side. It's about rising above it. If you were inspired by the journey of Scarlett Johansson, the rise, the struggles, and the strength behind the fame, then this channel is for you. Here, we don't just tell stories. We reveal the truth behind success, the dark side, and the reality no one talks about. So if you want more powerful documentaries on icons like Scarlett Johansson, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell, because the next story might just change the way you see the world.